In just hours, testimony resumes in the trial of the three white men who chased down, then shot and killed the 25-year-old as he was jogging through the streets. If today is anything like what we witnessed in the courtroom last week, well, we are in for another triggering day.
There's only so many pastors they can have. And if their pastor's Al Sharpton right now, that's fine, but then that's it. We don't want any more black pastors coming in here, or other Jesse Jackson, whoever was in here earlier this week, sitting with the victim's family. If my statements yesterday were overly broad, I will follow up with a more specific motion on Monday, putting that and those concerns in the proper context. And my apologies to anyone who might have inadvertently been offended.
Just the reaction of the two women to his side says it all. Dr. Freddy Haynes, head pastor of Friendship West Baptist Church, is one of the faith leaders making his way to Brunswick. Good morning. Good Reverend Doctor joins us this morning. Good to see you there. I wish we were talking under different circumstances. Doctor, look, the more I hear, the more we play it, the more I'm like, what was he thinking? Then I'm realizing maybe he had some kind of strategy behind all of this. When you first heard him utter those words, were you as just in shock that those two white women that was by his side there that day?
Well, unfortunately, in following this entire trial, there's nothing that is shocking. The sad reality is we should have been, greatly shocked that, Ahmaud Arbery was stalked, haunted, and hunted by these vicious racists. And so it's really only appropriate that this attorney would speak in such a way. It's almost as if he's reading from a playbook that is straight from the Ku Klux Klan or the white supremacist handbook on how to ensure that justice is not served. So I was offended, sadly not surprised. At the same time, it just blew my mind that he lifted up Reverend Al Sharpton, Reverend Jesse Jackson, who has not been there yet but is on his way. But both of them represent a prophetic tradition of standing for social justice, but at the same time, they both take seriously their responsibility as men of faith, as persons of faith in the Black tradition. And in that Black tradition, a part of what we do is go to trials, to sit with families that have been victimized. That's just what we do. On top of that, not only do we show up at the scenes of the crime, as it were, but we also speak truth to power. And so it was quite evident that this this attorney, reading from his Ku Klux Klan playbook, basically said, we've got to make sure that these Black pastors, and please understand, if this had been Joel Osteen, if this had been Robert Jeffries in Dallas, there's no way he would have said, we can't have all of these white pastors, or we have to put a limit on the number of white pastors who can show up. So we know it is straight from their racist handbook and playbook. And we're simply saying, not only are we going to come now in greater numbers, but we're going to come sit with the family, pray with the family, and ensure that we do our part to see that justice is served.
There's a long-standing tradition, and I don't think you can be too strong in what you said there. KKK playbook, because that's exactly what it sounded like. You tweeted out something as more Black pastors are on the way, the family is your priority. And I wonder, you said he was unapologetically, blatantly racist. If you stand by that, and if in the tradition, long-standing tradition of Black pastors and other pastors helping those who have sinned, helping those who are in a dark place, do you think you could help this man?
Well, Sharon, and thank you so much for that question. On the one hand, I think it's very important that we recognize as Black pastors what they already know, and that is when we show up, there is power. When we show up, not only do we offer the power of our presence in terms of comforting a family that is having to play out every single day. Something horrific, something racist that happened to their beloved Ahmaud Arbery. So we're showing up to comfort this family first and foremost, because it's evident that this attorney does not care to do that. But also, I don't want us to forget that even the judge has been concerned that the racist playbook being, upheld in this particular trial, especially by the defense attorney and crew, the judge, some of his decisions have been questionable, but he himself feeling handcuffed by helplessness, as it were, saying, this was racist in terms of the jury selection. So even the judge, and we're concerned about him having some issues with his neck being red. But that judge said about the defense attorney, this ain't really right, and it smacks of racism. And so we must show up at the scene of this racist crime. We must show up to support the family, and we must show up because we want to do whatever we can to ensure that justice is served. Ahmaud Arbery is dead. He's dead because of these ruthless racist killers, and we don't want to add injustice to injury by allowing what this attorney is doing out of his racist handbook and playbook to continue to go unchecked.
Some of the things you said about the judge makes me, I've been thinking about the whole thing with Gough, and maybe it's strategic on his part because he knows that 11 members of that jury are white, and some, maybe one or two, maybe three or four, and all it takes is one, feel the same way he feels, even though he didn't do that or say that in the presence of that jury. But I want to ask you about the whole, the criticism, so to speak, of black pastors coming down there in droves. If there is, and we understand here at the Black News Channel why you're going down there, we understand the culture, but some are saying this could politicize this whole situation and that it could run the risk of influencing this jury in the wrong way. What say you?
Well, I simply say that, again, would you say that about Joel Osteen? Would you say that about Robert Jeffries? Would you say that about some white pastors? So what's happening, those who are accusing us of politicizing this, what they are doing is racializing this, which again is the backdrop to this horrific, heinous murder that took place. And that is, there was a racist takedown and murder of a young man who was simply out for a morning jog. Not only that, and that was racist, but then we've seen the racist playbook play out with the judge as well as the defense attorney. And so what really bothers me is that they are accusing us of politicizing this instead of being upset that this country's original sin of racism continues to play out. Watch this, the year after we went through a so-called racial reckoning in this country, and the result of that racial reckoning has been more racism. And so my thing is, instead of getting upset at black pastors for doing what is on our job description to comfort those who find themselves sorrow-filled and grief-stricken, on our job description to show up and do all we can to offer support in settings such as this, instead of getting upset with us for doing what it is God has called us to do, why don't you get upset with the racism that is the backdrop for all that is going on? And so my simple question is, are you going to be hypocritical in terms of what you attack, or are you going to hope that this country actually begins to start living up to what justice for all actually means? Because until you do that, as far as I'm concerned, don't come for us when we didn't send for you.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna leave it right
Said a word there.
We done had church up in here this morning, and you're right,
I'm
Pastor
passing
Haynes.
the plate right
Let
now.
me tell you something. Thank you. And I don't have cash, Mike. Can you put something in for me? Because look here, politics ain't got nothing to do with racism, Pastor. Not a thing to do with it. It's about right and wrong. We'll see you in Brunswick. You and the whole crew. Thank you, Pastor Haynes. Thank you
One
for starting
more
your day
thing. One
with
more
us.
thing. Hold on a
Hit it.
second. When you take an oath, what do they put? You put your hand on the Bible, right? So
Yeah.
religion is
Thank
already in the courtroom, right? So you can't
Already.
have a black
There it
pastor in the
is.
courtroom.
There
I'm
it
just
is.
saying.
Come on now.
I don't understand
Come on
why you
now.
want to take
Well
it out of the
said.
courtroom when the first thing when somebody does,
Yeah.
you put your hand on the Bible and swear to tell the truth, the whole
That's
truth,
right.
nothing but the truth. So help me,
There it
what?
is.
God.
God.
There it is.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this has been. We might need to have 2 offerings. Pass it around 2 times. Might
Doors
put
of
it
the
in
church
again
is
for
open.
me if you can. Again, I don't have cash. Thank you, Pastor Haynes,
I'm
and I
about
know
to do
you'll be
communion
back
right
with
now.
us.
Let me give me a crack.
That's right. I need 2. I need several. Thank you, Pastor.